Hey all you wigglers, welcome to this demo of the doepfer a160 clock divider. There are a lot of clocking and sequencing modules on the market today. Many of them are extremely powerful. The doepfer a160 is one of the cheapest and most widely available, and you should get one. Basically, it gives you all even clock divisions down to 64. However, these divisions are out of phase with each other, meaning that while they will click off at the same time at the end of a cycle, they will not click on at the same time. So, as you can see, they come on at different times with each other. That makes it harder to do straight-ahead techno kind of things. However, it is useful for creating fun little sequences, as is documented in the manual. So, let's say that we clock from, an LFO, let's speed this up a little bit, and then we're going to take the lowest clock division and we're going to put that into a mixer. It's easier to control if you have a linear mixer, however at the moment I don't. The output of this mixer is going to go into the 1 volt per octave input of an oscillator. Now, in standard kind of East Coast fashion, we're going to go into a filter and then into a VCA. In order to, trigger that VCA to open and also to ping or to open the filter or to raise the cutoff a little bit, we're going to use an envelope from this channel of maths, and we're going to clock that from the same clock divider. So let's use the down by 4 division. So there's our little sound, and you can see that every time, or you can hear that every time we get a gate from the 64 down by 64 clock division, the frequency of the oscillator goes up. So that's cool, and we could obviously mix the other clock signals in the same way, but the most obvious next step would be to insert a VCA. So let's take the next 2 divisions down, the 32 and the 16, and let's put them into a VCA here. Output of that VCA is going back up into the mixer. So suddenly we have a much more interesting sequence. Very easy to alter that by changing your levels on your various attenuators, or to play with the different divisions that you're using. So let's do this. So if I kind of like that, wiggle around. Anyway, you get the idea. Basically, this is very versatile. You could say FM the oscillator, send it through a low-pass gate, and you would suddenly have a pitched percussion sequence. If you have other clocking modules or slew limiters, lag processors, random outputs, you can mess with this sequence in really fun ways. If you've got a quantizer, you can get much easier access to your sort of standard pitches. You can combine the clocking divisions with more interesting envelopes to create pitch changes. So if into this mixer, if I now used one of these clock dividers, say, to trigger an envelope, let's just do that really quickly. So let's get ourselves a different sequence. All right, sorry. And then now let's use this to trigger an envelope and put that in the mix. Let's just use a decay. So you hear when that goes on, we're getting a decay. And we bring that ones back in. Anyway, you get the point. You can do a lot of cool stuff. So if you got $55 in change lying around and 4 HP to spare, buy a clock divider.